Well, hey, happy Sunday, and welcome to Dave's After Hours Trivia Club, broadcasting live from the cozy corner of Hardwood Holler here in the beautiful upstate of South Carolina. Grab your favorite drink and find a comfy spot and do settle in. Tonight isn't just about trivia. It's about curiosity, memory, and the thrill of discovering something you didn't know that you already knew. We do usually go live Sundays with After Hours Trivia Club, always at 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific. So do mark your calendars and don't be a stranger. While our Hollywood magic robots do the painting, I'll be serving up the clues, and you will be doing the guessing in the chat. Now, tonight's categories. First, we will play a top 20 countdown of Marilyn Monroe's top films. Marilyn Monroe. I can't believe we haven't visited Marilyn Monroe movies before. Then we will uncover the top 20 Steven Spielberg movies. And finally, we will discover the top 20 new wave and punk rock bands. So quite an evening. And hey, don't forget to visit davidhansonart.com to snag some of the art from tonight's show that you've been seeing. Every piece does tell a story. And now some of them can hang on your wall at home. Now do say hi in the chat. This is where you will throw out a wild guess, or you can just hang out in the background. I see Arena's in the house. Good to see you, Arena. And a quick note. YouTube is now streaming to vertical mobile on one feed and landscape for TVs and iPads and things, or a computer on another stream. So if the one you're on doesn't feel right, there are two. So go check that out if you need to. Now it's time to cue up our first round, fire up the robots, and let the games begin. Here we go. All right, you know the rules. Robots do the painting, you do the guessing, and I give the clues. And once again, we're going to visit the top 20 Marilyn Monroe films of all time, so it may get a little obscure at first, but you'll work your way into it. So number 20 on the Marilyn Monroe list. This early musical marked the beginning of her journey towards stardom. Now this is all the way back in 1948. She plays the daughter of a vaudeville performer showing real-life dreams. Her charm overshadows the film's modest production value. It was her first time receiving top billing in a feature, 1948. Now this was still years away from icon status. Her voice and vulnerability already shimmered. All right, pretty tough. Number 20 on the Marilyn Monroe top movie list. Any guesses? What? That flash means we're getting close to the end of the round. Last chance to guess. This is called Ladies of the Chorus. Ladies of the Chorus, 1948. Audiences weren't sure who she was yet, but she sure made them look twice. There she is. Marilyn Monroe, number 20. All right. Time for number 19. Marilyn Monroe. From the year 1952. She appears briefly in this anthology based on short stories. A literary adaptation doesn't scream Monroe, but she fits right in. Now, her segment's quiet charm helps balance out the film's tonal shifts. Hmm. Her natural delivery hinted at emotional range beneath the glamour. All right. Critics noted that she added warmth to a mostly somber project. All right, so this is some sort of anthology back in 1952, and it's number 19 on the Marilyn Monroe list. She looks cute. Any guesses? Going once. Going twice. Number 19 is O. Henry's Full House from the year 1952. This movie was proof that even a 5-minute scene can be unforgettable when it's Marilyn Monroe. So she was only in this movie for 5 minutes, but the robots liked it. At number 19. All right, there she is. They'll get easier. I promise. I promise. All right. We're down to number 18 on the Marilyn Monroe Top 20 list. Now, this movie features 5 couples, 1 major legal mix-up. It is classic 1950s hijinks. She plays a beauty queen, typecasting or destiny. A beauty queen. It's light, zippy, and lets her flex comedic timing. Her scenes steal focus in a crowded ensemble cast. Ensemble cast from the year 1952. It's a film where she's not the lead, but she is still the highlight. Any guesses? Who knows? This top 20 Marilyn Monroe movie from 1952. Going once, going twice. They're tough so far, I know. Number 18 is We're Not Married. We're Not Married. 5 couples, 1 major legal mix-up. Her strut in a sash and swimsuit, a prelude to the bombshell status ahead. There you go. Number 18, We're Not Married. We are counting down the top 20 Marilyn Monroe movies of all time. Now, somebody might know this one. Let's see. This one's from 1951. We are going back a bit. A struggling writer, a suspicious wife, and an old war buddy. Drama incoming. Monroe plays the attractive ex-WAC, W-A-C, that complicates things. It was one of her first real studio roles. She walks a line between innocent and flirtatious. Viewers noticed that a small role had a big star energy. All right, big star energy from 1951. A struggling writer, a suspicious wife, and an old war buddy. All right, any guesses? This is number 17 on the Marilyn Monroe Top 20 list. Going once, going twice, and it is Love Nest. Love Nest. Love Nest. Fox gave her a long-term contract after this movie. No surprise there. So she was good enough in this one to give a contract to Fox. 20th Century Fox back in the day, I think. Marilyn Monroe Top 20 movies of all time. All right, we're down to number 16. And now we're moving up in years. We're up to 1960. A billionaire disguises himself as an actor in a play mocking himself. Monroe sings, jokes, and flirts opposite French star Yves Montand. I don't know. Am I saying that right? Ives Montan. I don't know the guy. Maybe you guys know. I don't know. Critics were mixed, but no one doubted her screen presence. The musical numbers let her camp it up with flair. Behind the scenes, romance and rumors swirled. A billionaire disguises himself as an actor. Anybody remember this from 1960? She reportedly preferred rehearsing with Montan over performing with him. I don't know what that means. Let's Make Love was the name of the movie. They had the titles back in the day, didn't they? Let's Make Love from 1960. All right, let's move on. Marilyn Monroe top 20 movies is what we're doing. We're counting them down. Working our way down the list. Number 15 from 1957. Opposites attract. She's an American actress. He's a Balkan royal. Monroe plays it loose and lively opposite Laurence Olivier. Where's Laurence Olivier? The contrast in style makes for accidental comedy gold. She shines while he stiffens, both on screen and off. What? What are they saying? It's less about plot, more about the push-pull of charm. There you go. All right. Laurence Olivier. Monroe plays it loose and lively. Can you guess it? This is number 15 on our Marilyn Monroe countdown. From the year 1957, this is The Prince and the Showgirl, of course. The Prince and the Showgirl. The behind-the-scenes clash became its own movie. My Week with Marilyn. Interesting. All right. Well, there they are. Laurence Olivier. All right. Let's go to number 14. There's no business like showbiz. Oops. Well, since you guys weren't doing too good, I guess I decided to give you that one. A musical kaleidoscope of vaudeville, family, and flashy costumes. Monroe sings Heat Wave and nearly melts the screen. I'd like to see that. I think I need to watch this. She plays the outsider joining a family troupe. Her star power was starting to eclipse her co-stars. The colors and spectacle are pure Technicolor bliss. All right, now I told you the answer already. So surely someone can guess this one. This was the last time she played just part of an ensemble. So, last time that she wasn't the biggest star in the room. This was called There's No Business Like Show Business from 1954. Number 14 on our top 20 Marilyn Monroe countdown. There she is. No business like show business. That's right. All right. We'll try not to give this one away. Number 13. Monroe, Mitchum, Mountains, and Mayhem. A single mother caught between love and danger in the wilderness. She sings in a saloon and survives rapids like a pro. The filming was rough, but she brought vulnerability to the roughest scenes. It's part Western, part survival story, part glamour shoot. All right, who remembers this one? Number 13 on our Marilyn Monroe countdown. She sprained her ankle on set, and production stopped cold until she healed. Uh-oh. Sounds like it got a little rough out there. Monroe, Mitchum, Mountains, and Mayhem. Last shot. Going once, going twice. Number 13 is River of No Return from 1954. River of No Return. She sings in a saloon and survives rapids like a pro. But she did sprain her ankle. So there was that. Probably that move right there was what got her. All right. Moving on. We are down to number 12 on our countdown list. She's no longer a bubbly blonde. This is noir territory. Monroe plays a disturbed babysitter, unraveling before our eyes. This sounds interesting. It's one of her few straight dramatic roles. No comedy in this one. The performance is eerie. It's emotional, and it is utterly gripping. It is proof that she wasn't afraid to go dark. This is from the year 1952. Number 12 on our countdown. Any guesses? Marilyn Monroe looks like Richard Widmark there. Yeah. This was called Don't Bother to Knock. Don't Bother to Knock, 1952. Critics who dismissed her as a pinup had to reconsider after this one. I bet. Dramatic, one of her few, though, dramatic roles. There you go. Most of them are more kind of comedy oriented. All right. There she is. Her and Richard Widmark. How about that? All right, number 11 on our Marilyn Monroe Top 20 Movie Countdown. Now, this one was directed by Fritz Lang, with Monroe in a supporting role. 1952, so kind of early in her career. It's a gritty look at love and disappointment on the California coast. Love those California coast. Monroe plays a cannery worker. Real dirt under the nails stuff. Her chemistry with Keith Andis feels startlingly modern. Okay, I got that spitted out. She holds her own opposite Barbara Stanwyck. How about that one? All right, anybody remember this one? This is number 11 on the Robots list of top 20 Marilyn Monroe movies. Your last shot. Here we go. This was called Clash by Night. Clash by Night, 1952. These are hard, aren't they? Lang was known for precision, but Monroe's instinctual approach worked wonders. There you go. Flash by Night, 1952. I guess people liked it. All right. Well, that means we are down to the top 10 Marilyn Monroe movies. So you ought to be able to get these. We ought to be able to do a little better on these. Here we go. All right. Number 10. Number 10. A professor invents a youth serum and chaos follows. A youth serum. Monroe's role, the secretary who's far smarter than she let on. Her timing matches Cary Grant's zaniness, beat for beat. The film is fast-paced It is ridiculous, and it is full of screwball joy. Screwball joy. Is that a monkey? I think Marilyn's sitting with a monkey there. Monroe proves she's not just decoration. She is dynamite. Her line delivery made even the director laugh off camera. All right. Quite the comedian. Any guesses? Number 10 on our list. Going once, going twice. This was called Monkey Business. No doubt. Monkey Business, 1952. There you go. All right. All right. Down to number 9 on our Marilyn Monroe Top 20 movie list. Number 9. This is a Bette Davis movie, except when Marilyn Monroe's on screen. She plays Miss Coswell, an aspiring actress with knockout presence. It is a small part, but you do remember every second. Her line, "Why do they always look like unhappy rabbits?" is pure gold. Why do they always look like unhappy rabbits? I don't know what that means. Monroe adds innocence to a film filled with schemers. No. So Marilyn's innocent, but the film is filled with schemers. All right, it's a Bette Davis classic movie. I think Bette Davis won an award for this movie. I think so. Studio execs realized she could steal scenes without even trying. All right, going once, going twice. Number 9 on the Marilyn Monroe list, although it starred Bette Davis, is All About Eve. All About Eve, of course. Remember that one, don't we? Yeah. I would think so. All right. So, moving on to number 8. A gritty crime caper where bad guys just can't catch a break. Monroe plays a mobster's mistress, wide-eyed but not clueless. It was her breakthrough, earning real buzz in Hollywood. The role is small, but it is electric. It's full of unspoken emotion. This is where Monroe stopped being background and became buzzworthy. A gritty crime caper with bad guys. This is 1950. A well-known movie, actually. Going once, going twice. She later said that she was terrified filming this. No one could tell. This is the Asphalt Jungle. Asphalt Jungle from 1950. Number 8 on the Robots Top 20 Marilyn Monroe list. There she is. All right, now the rest of these are pretty familiar. So let's see if you can get them. All right. 3 women hatch a plan to land rich husbands. 3 women. Okay? Got it? Got the picture? Monroe's character, Paula, is nearly blind without her glasses. She walks into walls and into your heart. Her comedy chops shine in a glamorous package. Of course. It is a masterclass in making silly feel sincere. Three women hatch a plan to land rich husbands. Three women hatch a plan. Who knows? She insisted on playing the role with real glasses. It made the comedy work. Okay. Anybody remember? She walks into walls and into your heart. Number 7 on our list is How to Marry a Millionaire. How to Marry a Millionaire from the year 1953. There they are. All right, moving on. We're down to number 6 on the Marilyn Monroe Top 20 Movie Countdown. Don't let the scenic falls fool you. This one's pure noir. Monroe plays a femme fatale like no other. Icy, alluring, and very dangerous. Her walk alone became cinematic legend. The film oozes tension, and she drives it all. Audiences expecting giggles got goosebumps instead. I gotta go back and watch this. I think I've seen it, but it sounds great. I gotta see it again. The censors were nearly more shocked than the viewers. Nearly. All right, any guesses? Going once, going twice. Monroe plays a femme fatale like no other. This is Niagara. Niagara. That's all behind her. Get to see that? 1953, Niagara. There you go. Okay. Top 5. Yeah, I expect you to get all of these now. Top 5. There we go. Marilyn Monroe movies we're doing. A cowboy kidnaps a singer, and somehow it's a love story. Monroe's Sherry is tired, fragile, and unforgettable. This was her acting breakthrough. Training with the method. It's about longing, not love, and she nails it. Her accent is thick. Her emotion is thicker. She called this her favorite role. And no surprise, it's her movie from start to finish. All right, anybody remember this? A cowboy kidnaps a singer, and somehow it's a love story. Going once, going twice. This is number 5 on the Marilyn Monroe countdown list. It is Bus Stop. Bus Stop from 1956. She called it her favorite role. There you go. I believe it. I'm sold. All right, top 4. Here we go. Top 4. 1955. This one gave the world the most iconic skirt blowing scene ever. This is the skirt blowing movie. Who remembers that? But there's more. Her comedic instincts are razor sharp. She plays the girl, literally unnamed. Endlessly memorable, it's flirty, surreal, and delightfully cheeky. The film turns temptation into a punchline, not a scandal. This is the skirt movie. Who remembers the skirt movie? That scene, it shut down an entire New York block and a whole era of subtlety. Who remembers the name of the movie? Certainly you remember the skirt blowing up from the subway wind. This is the 7-year itch. 7-year itch from the year 1955. It is. All right. Top 3. Here we go. Number 3. Diamonds are a girl's best friend, especially if she's Lorelei Lee. Lorelei Lee. Monroe and Jane Russell make a dazzling duo. This is the one with Jane Russell. Monroe sings, sparkles, and outsmarts everyone in her path. The comedy is sharp. The fashion is even sharper. This was Monroe in full command of her image. All right, who remembers this? This is the Jane Russell. A dazzling duo. Madonna borrowed her look from this film. Flattery, thy name is Platinum Blonde. All right, anybody remember the name of this movie? This is number 3 on our Marilyn Monroe Top 20 Movie Count. Once, only twice. This is Gentlemen Prefer Blondes. Gentlemen Prefer Blondes from 1953. There they are, dancing away. I've seen that movie. All right, number 2 on the Marilyn Monroe list. Number 2, here it is. It's a story about broken people in a fading West. Monroe is raw, real, and no longer an enigma. Written by Arthur Miller. Her husband at the time, specifically for her. That's cool. Her performance is haunting. It's emotional and bare. This was the last film she ever completed. 1961. Filming was actually a struggle, but the result was unshakable. Story about broken people in a fading West. Monroe is raw, real, and no longer... What do you think? Number 2, The Misfits. The Misfits from 1961. There you go. Co-stars. Very good. All right. That means we're down to number 1. And I think everybody knows number 1. Marilyn Monroe movie from 1959. I've seen it many times. 2 men dress as women to escape the mob. Monroe plays Sugar Cane. Great name. She's a band singer with a soft heart. She is funny, and she is flirty, and she's totally in control of the movie. Every scene is electric, and she is always the spark. It's widely called the greatest comedy movie ever made. How about that? Nobody's perfect, says the movie, but she might have been in this one. She was perfect in this movie. Anybody remember the name of this movie? Number 1 on the Marilyn Monroe list. All right. Some Like It Hot. Remember? Jack Lemmon? There you go. Some Like It Hot. Okay, well, that was the Marilyn Monroe list. Hope you guys enjoyed that. And I do have a 2-minute intermission now, which I do a lightning round during my intermission. So if you haven't played before, they will play 20 different athletes who turned into actors, all within 2 minutes. So if you can name any of these, put them in the chat, and I'll be back in 2 minutes to do round 2. All righty, we're back. Hopefully you guys got a few of those. We will see. All righty, well, we'll try round 2 and see if we can get some players in the game here. We need some players here. Alrighty now. Some of you know the rules. The robots do the painting, and you have to do the guessing in the chat. We are going to be looking at the top 20 Steven Spielberg movies. Famous director-producer Steven Spielberg. Okay, number 20. Well, the first few might be a little hard, then they get easy. Okay, here we go. Steven Spielberg movies. A courtroom drama based on a real 19th century slave revolt. Jamin Honshu yells, "Give us free," and history listens. Spielberg tackles freedom and justice without sugarcoating. Anthony Hopkins delivers a rousing monologue as John Quincy Adams. Give you the time frame there. This is from the year 1997 when Spielberg made this one. We're trying to guess the movies, the top 20 Steven Spielberg movies. This is not his most famous movie, but undeniably it is a stirring tale. All right, any guesses? Spielberg called this his moral obligation movie. Academy voters blinked. I guess they didn't like it. I don't know. Or maybe they gave it an award. I don't know. Did this win an award? I can't remember. Amistad, 1997. Checking in at number 20 on the Steven Spielberg Top 20 list. 319. Now I have to admit, I haven't seen this next one. I haven't seen it. And it is Spielberg going full digital with his animated globe-trotting romp. This is actually an animated movie. It was inspired by Hergé, beloved comic character. Think Indiana Jones with fewer snakes and more pixels. Okay. I have to admit I didn't see it. It's packed with zany chases, pirate secrets, and treasure maps. Well, it sounds okay. Right? The camera moves like it's had 6 espressos. What? Camera moves like it had 6 espressos. I kind of feel like I've had 6 espressos as well. Spielberg said this was the closest he ever got to directing a cartoon. Okay. Yeah, he actually liked it. All right, 2011, if you're wondering. Early digital movies, for sure. No? Nobody's got this one? It is The Adventures of Tintin. The Adventures of Tintin. Sorry, I didn't see it either. Right? Oh, okay. I bet I've seen the rest of them. We'll see. I think I have. Number 18 on the Steven Spielberg countdown. Now, this one was actually started by Stanley Kubrick, but it was finished by Steven Spielberg. Part brain, part heart. A boy robot searches for love and meaning in a bleak future. Haley Joel Osment gives a heartbreakingly human performance. The line between fairy tale and dystopia gets very blurry. Yeah, so the little boy robot is more human than humans. It's Pinocchio meets Blade Runner, and it is. I really enjoyed this movie. In fact, I want to go back and watch this movie again. The ending actually split audiences, though, but the teddy bear remains undefeated. Okay. I remember something about that. I'm gonna have to go back and watch it. Everybody remember this movie? Steven Spielberg? No? This is called AI. Back in the day. This is 2001. 24 friggin' years ago. AI, artificial intelligence. So it has been coming for a while, and people think AI just popped out of nowhere. Steven Spielberg did a movie about it in 2001. There you go. All right, number 17. Recently, 2022. Let's see if we can get this one. Spielberg tells the story of Spielberg. It's a film about family. It's about filmmaking and forgiving your parents. That's good. Glad to hear that. It's tender. It's nostalgic. And it is surprisingly funny. So young Sammy Fableman finds truth behind a camera. Judd Hirsch nearly steals the movie in 10 minutes on screen. David Lynch as John Ford, the weirdest and best director cameo ever. So I guess David Lynch makes an appearance. All right, anybody remember this one where Spielberg basically tells his own story? No? This was called The Fableman. I think I saw it. 2022. I might have walked out. I wouldn't have walked out of a Spielberg movie. What am I? The Fableman. All right. I said I'd seen all these, but I'm not sure that's true. Number 16. Steven Spielberg list. A boy and his horse get separated during World War I. Tears ensue. Man, that would be sad. It's beautifully shot and emotionally old-fashioned. Spielberg channels John Ford and David Lean. The horse survives things no human could or would. And don't watch this if you're allergic to heartfelt orchestras. The horse doesn't speak, but he still gives one of the year's best performances. So the horse is really good in this movie. 2011. 2011. Anybody remember a Spielberg movie about a horse? No? Well, I'll call Going Once, Going Twice. This one was called War Horse. War Horse, of course. A horse is a horse, of course. A war horse. Okay. Enough of that. Enough of that. Now, I definitely remember the next one. And it was very early in Spielberg's career. In fact, this was Spielberg's debut made for TV, and it was still terrifying. Spielberg's debut movie. A businessman is chased by a faceless trucker on a desert highway. So yeah, the whole show is this poor guy that's being chased by this truck, but doesn't seem to even have a driver. No monsters, no music, just pure dread. It's 90 minutes of gas, gears, and panic. Spielberg wrings horror from simplicity. Oh, I forget the actor's name. Dennis something. Dennis. He was the guy that was the sheriff on one of the made-for-TV movie nights. I forget his name. Darn it. Anyway, this movie was called Duel. Remember it? From 1971. He was 24 when he directed this movie. Quarter-life crisis. There you go. There he is. Dennis. Cute. All right. We're down to number 14. Number 14 on the Steven Spielberg Top 20 list. Cold War nerves, spy swaps, and quiet heroism. Tom Hanks plays a lawyer with nerves of steel. It's diplomacy, not bullets, that saves lives here. The real tension is in the negotiating scenes. Spielberg makes lawyering look epic. Mark Rylance won an Oscar for saying very little perfectly. Any guesses? Number 14, for the year 2015, Steven Spielberg's top 20 movies. I remember this one. This one was great. Good movie. called Bridge of Spies. Bridge of Spies. Rylance won an Oscar for saying very little, very perfectly. There you go. Bridge of Spies. All right. We are down to number 13. Number 13. Steven Spielberg's top 20. A British boy survives Japanese-occupied China during World War II. Spielberg's take on war through a child's eyes again. A very young Christian Bale carries the entire movie. Wonder and horror collide in poetic ways. The visuals are gorgeous, even when everything hurts. A British boy survives Japanese-occupied China. A young Christian Bale carries the movie. Bale was 13 years old. His reward, getting cast as Batman decades later. Okay. There's Batman as a kid. Anybody remember this movie? A British boy survives Japanese-occupied China. World War I? Or I'm sorry, World War II. Anybody remember? No. Okay. Called Empire of the Sun. Empire of the Sun, 1987. 1987. That's a good movie. Empire of the Sun. Did it win some awards? I think so. Not sure. Maybe. Next one won some awards. Number 12. Spielberg steps outside his comfort zone, but he flourishes. This is based on Alice Walker's novel about black women in the South. Very well-known movie. Whoopi Goldberg and Oprah Winfrey give powerhouse performances. The emotional journey is tough, but redemptive. A story of endurance, of faith, and finally of freedom. There you go. Who remembers this one? Alice Walker's novel about black women in the South. Nominated for 11 Oscars. Oh, but won 0. It won nothing. Yeah, that sounds a little unfair. A travesty. Going once, going twice from the year 1985. Steven Spielberg's The Color Purple. The Color Purple, of course. Of course. There you go. All right. Okay, this next one's one of my favorites. Definitely one of my favorites. Although I really like AI, that was earlier. This was from he was going through a phase. This is 2002. Now AI was 2001. This is 2002. And Tom Cruise runs from a crime that he hasn't committed yet. Pre-crime, eyeball scans, and spider bots. Oh my. This is based on Philip K. Dick's Paranoid Visions. It is stylish, smart, and scarily prophetic. Also, it is the best use of a future cereal box ever. I don't remember that part. This is one of my favorites, though. No doubt. No doubt. Anybody remember the precogs? There's a precog on the right there. And Tom's on the left. If you didn't know that was Tom, that's Tom on the left. Precog on the right. The tech consulting team included real futurists, and they got a lot right. All right, going once, going twice. This is number 11, Minority Report. Minority Report from the year 2002. 2002. We are down to the top 10. Top 10 Steven Spielberg movies. All right, let's see you get one. These aren't that hard. They're not that hard. Number 10. This is from the year 2005. Okay. And this one is based on a true story of Israeli agents avenging the 1972 Olympic massacre. So this is the movie about the revenge. Okay. The moral thriller that asks how far is too far. It is dark, it is cerebral, and it is heavy with historical weight. Eric Bana leads a team that slowly loses its grip on justice. Explosions land hard, but it is the silence that chills. Spielberg deliberately avoided clear heroes here. Just questions and consequences. Questions and consequences. Based on the true story of Israeli agents avenging the 1972 Olympic massacre. All right, nobody remembers, huh? Number 10, Steven Spielberg's top 20 is Munich. A movie called Munich. There it is, Munich. All right. Steven Spielberg, top 20 list. All right, now this one has appeared on our show in the Daniel Day-Lewis category. Daniel Day-Lewis plays our leading character. The movie focuses on passing the 13th Amendment. Political talk, courtroom drama, and Honest Abe's dry humor. Spielberg somehow makes legislative gridlock cinematic. The hat, the voice, the gravitas. It's presidential perfection. All right, Daniel Day-Lewis plays Mr. Abraham Lincoln. What was the name of the movie? Who remembers the name of this movie? Day-Lewis texted co-stars in character during the filming. He is the method actor. Imagine getting a midnight fourscore text. Of course, this is the movie Lincoln. Lincoln. It was from the year 2012. Daniel Day-Lewis, quite the method actor. There he is. The hat. All right. See you, Abe. See you later. All right. I like this next one. You might have liked this next one. Number 8 on the Roblox Top 20 Steven Spielberg list. Here we go. This one's got Leonardo DiCaprio, and he cons his way across the continents. Tom Hanks is the FBI agent forever 2 steps behind. This one is jazzy, breezy, and deceptively emotional. From pilots to doctors to Pan Am prestige, the disguises dazzle. Spielberg makes fraud feel oddly fun and surprisingly sad. Okay, this is about a real person, but Leo played the real person. The real Frank Abagnale Jr. became an FBI consultant afterwards. There you go. All right, anybody remember this movie, Leonardo, the pilot? There you go. Hey, Aaron, what's going on? Good to see you. Catch me if you can. Catch Me If You Can is correct. Very good. All right. There he is, Leo. 2002. All right. We got one. All right. No, we're down to number 7. Number 7 on our top 20 Steven Spielberg list. All right. Mysterious lights in the sky, weird tones on synthesizers. Roy Neary builds mashed potato mountains. Because aliens. Do you remember the guy building the mashed potato mountains? And then he built like a dirt and garbage in his living room. It's Spielberg's hymn to wonder and cosmic curiosity. It was a little weird. The climax at Devil's Tower in Wyoming is pure movie magic. First Contact never felt so human. All right. This picture's a little hard to tell what's going on, but I gave you some good clues. The guy builds mashed potato mountain. He ends up building a mountain in his living room out of dirt and trash. Yeah, very good. Very good. 1977. 1977. Close Encounters of the Third Kind is correct. There you go. Pretty good movie. I think maybe I saw it the first time and had a little hard time with it, and then I watched the second time and loved it. So there you go. One of those kinds. All right. These are all Steven Spielberg. It's hard to imagine that these are all Steven Spielberg. Number 6. Dinosaurs. Real enough to make you check the backyard. Yeah, I checked my backyard. Although I have 10 dinosaurs. A theme park goes predictably wrong. Groundbreaking CGI met Spielberg's sense of suspense. And everyone's favorite character, Jeff Goldblum, delivers chaos theory with smirks. Yes, he does. There's a lot of smirking going on from Jeff. The T-Rex roar still rattles theater walls. It did. I don't know if you remember the theater next to this one, but the T-Rex roar did rattle the walls. You are, of course, correct. From the year 1993, Jurassic Park. Jurassic Park. There they are. I guess they're looking at dinosaurs in this picture. I'm not sure. It's the most descriptive picture we could have picked, but the Raptor kitchen scene is studied in film schools and rightly feared by chefs. That is a scary scene in the kitchen, right? When the kids are trying to stay away from the raptors. It's a little rough. There you go. All right, top 5. Steven Spielberg is the man. This one is the D-Day beach landing that changed war movies forever. Spielberg blends chaos with quiet heartbreak. Tom Hanks leads a team into moral ambiguity. Moral ambiguity. Tom Hanks again. It's dusty, it's bloody, and soul-crushing. In a good way? Question mark? This one honored World War II vets by not glamorizing their pain. Yeah, of course. Of course. You are correct. Veterans said it felt too real. Some couldn't even finish watching this movie. I can see that. I can see that. And you are correct. Number 5 on our top Steven Spielberg list is Saving Private Ryan. Saving Private Ryan from the year 1998. I didn't realize that was that long ago. Can you believe that? How many years ago is that? 27? Wow. 1998. There you go. All right. Very good. Getting them all. You're on a streak. Hot streak. Number 4. Although these are awfully easy. Indiana Jones makes his whip-cracking debut. Nazis, snakes, and ancient artifacts. Check, check, check. The pace never stops. The set pieces never flop. Harrison Ford oozes old school charisma. Yeah, Harrison Ford was made for this role, no doubt. It's like him, right? It's adventure distilled into celluloid gold. Indy shooting the swordsman was an improvised bit. What? I love that scene. You know the scene I'm talking about, where the Islamic guy or the Arab guy gets the sword and swings it all around, and then he just pulls out his revolver and shoots him. Yeah. Raiders of the Lost Ark is correct. 1981. Oh, if that don't make you feel old. 1981. Let's see, 19 and 25. No, it can't be that long ago. It can't be. That'll make us old. Alright. Steven Spielberg movies. We're counting them down, and we're down to the top 3 Steven Spielberg movies. This one, of course, is a boy and a lost alien. Lost alien form. Reese's Pieces, BMX bikes, and glowing fingers abound. Childhood wonder becomes sacred cinematic text. Now, I don't know. I found this movie a little weird. I didn't like it as much as the others. But, I don't know. Just me, maybe. It's Spielberg's warmest hug of a movie. Maybe that's it. A little too corny. Yeah, of course. Of course you are correct. The finale, tears every time. Yeah. E.T.'s face was modeled after Einstein. Oh, wait a minute. Let me add to that. Was modeled after Einstein, who is a pug and a baby. No, I'm sorry. All 3. Einstein, a pug, and a baby. E.T. the extraterrestrial. To be perfectly correct. E.T. the extraterrestrial. 1982. 82? Alright, top 2. This one was scary. This is all the way back in 1975. 50 years ago. What? The shark movie that made beachgoers rethink summer. You don't see the monster much, but you feel it. Basically, this movie ruined going to the beach. I grew up down at the beach, South Orange County, California. And what was I? I was 17 years old when this movie came out. I used to go to the beach every day. The score alone can induce a panic attack. Quint's monologue, chilling perfection. Spielberg created the modern blockbuster by accident. By accident. Yeah, Jaws, of course. Very good. The mechanical shark broke constantly. So they had a lot of trouble with the mechanical Jaws. I guess it was before there was too much CGI. So, you know, bummer. It's a great scene though, right? Look at that. There they are, Jaws. He seems to be working there. Oh, look out. All right. not quite as much fun. Number one on the Steven Spielberg list. I think we all. This movie makes a lot of appearances on a lot of our lists on our game show. A businessman becomes a reluctant savior during the Holocaust. It's shot in black and white with piercing emotional clarity. Now this has Liam Neeson, it has Ben Kingsley, and Ralph Fiennes, all making career high performances. Spielberg finally tackled the story he'd long avoided, and he did nail it. The final scene at the gravesite is cinematic reverence. Of course, you are correct. 1993. Spielberg actually refused the salary for this film. Said it felt wrong to profit from it. Well, I think somebody made some money from this movie, right? Somebody must have. Schindler's List is correct. 1993. All right. There we go. Well, we made it. We made it all the way through the Steven Spielberg list. Well, I think we're going to call it a night after the 2 rounds tonight. The crowd's been a little light, but Aaron, thank you for coming in and saving the day with those top 10 Steven Spielberg movies. Very good. Got them all. Got them all for sure. I'm going to close out with a compilation of our 2 rounds tonight, and wish you guys a happy Sunday. And I will be back next Sunday with a new show. We're going to feature Humphrey Bogart movies next Sunday. So try to mark it on your calendars, and hopefully we'll see you all next Sunday.
Join us live on Sundays at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. live on Sundays at 7 p.m. Eastern Time.